I'm Tyler Epson, and this is what the fuck's on my mind. So I was navigating the shitcake maze that is the internet, and I found a true gem. A shiny quarter in a bucket of vomit after a keg party. It was a video by a YouTube creator by the name of Traplore Ross, a British dude that covers most of the larger talking points in today's hip-hop news. And while he seems to be viewed as a bit of a culture vulture by some, it's hard to deny he's probably got his thumb on current hip-hop bullshit, which sadly basically amounts to either a bunch of beef that ends up in the usual jail or death endgame of this kind of shenanigans, or random scandals that kind of make you ashamed at times of the hip-hop culture many of us grew up with. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about, because I got two words for you: world star. So getting off my soapbox to actually address my point, Mr. Traplore's latest video is about the extremely public rise and fall of the marriage of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Just another example of the usual dumb fuckery we associate with the cult of celebrity. Which brings me to the soul of this very vodka-infused rant. So I guess that means I need to put my soapbox right back where the fuck it was. Let it be said, the first time I watched this video, I was laying in bed recovering from a bit of a hangover. And as a hard and fast rule, I refuse to watch anything related to the Kardashian family, because I have no desire to contribute to anything that group of individuals is remotely attached to. But as I said, I was fighting the booze monster, and I was too fucking lazy to search for anything that wasn't the first suggestion on my homepage. So I'd been watching the video with like 75% of my full attention when I wasn't momentarily dozing off. Because giving fucks I don't have is always harder to do than I think. So I checked to see how far I'm into Ross's coverage of this miscarriage of a matrimony, and I see that I'm 2 hours in with a goddamn hour and a half left. And that's why I'm making this video. No human should have so much of their life on social media where a motherfucker can make a 3.5 hour documentary about your dumpster fire of a relationship after editing. Now let's be clear, there's nothing new about the relationships of famous people playing out in the public eye. And in the age of the internet and social media, celebrity couple watching might as well have its own professional league, which would automatically still be more popular than Major League Soccer. But this seems to be a different kind of monster, and that's saying something. Because at the time of me writing this, we were in the midst of the literal shit show that was the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. And I do mean shit show, as there is footage of Depp describing the fecal deposit Miss Heard left on a bed. Anyway, Ross's video subtly, or not so subtly, points out that their relationship was pretty much doomed from the start, considering these two had been side-eyeing each other for years while each in relationships with other people. Side note, apparently Kim was pregnant with Ye's first kid when she was still married to former NBA star Chris Humphries. And Kim offered him like $10 million as a settlement for a divorce, but for some reason Chris turned it down. Let me tell you something. For $10 million, I'll divorce God. As I said, celebrity couple watching is nothing new, but I don't think there's ever been a relationship that's so consistently been in the limelight like this. And in the future, when this bullshit becomes more commonplace, we'll be able to point to them as the John Glenn and Buzz Aldrin of celebrity marriage dumb fuckery. And kids, if you don't get that reference, watch a documentary, because I know half of you don't even know what a damn book looks like anymore. A prime example of how problematic this behavior is gets displayed when Ross covers the 2016 incident where Kim gets tied up and robbed in her Paris apartment. There is absolutely nothing funny about that, and as someone who's had guns pulled on them before, that shit ain't cool. And I get why she had to discuss it in the media, but I don't really understand why Kanye felt the need to inject himself in this the way he did. Of course, he's got the right to feel how he feels about the situation, but all that stuff getting out about him trying to hire counter-terrorist specialists and being on the Kardashian show, like, if something had happened to you, I wouldn't have stopped until they was dead, pretty unnecessary. For real, dog, keep that shit to yourself. As they say, gangsters move in silence. Getting back to the point of all this, the Kanye breakup was really so cringy, not because of the press or paparazzi, but all the shit these two goofy motherfuckers put out themselves. How in the hell am I able to look at a text argument between Kanye and a dude his ex-wife is now boning? And it's pretty bad when a dude that's with your ex is telling you you need help for your mental health. And Kanye really has proven to be the most volatile of these two. Bearing your soul is one thing, But this is kind of beyond the pale, and it makes it really hard to validate your side of the story or sympathize with any of your craziness. And some of these implications of violence against Pete Davidson and trying to weaponize your fans against him, not a good look. And I never thought I would say that Kim Kardashian is the more grounded of any two people. Well, live and learn. Though I will say, Kim should have known she was best served just keeping her mouth shut entirely. But it's probably hard to think like that when you've made a fortune off making your life a public sideshow. And to be honest, there's nothing about Kanye's history of public word vomit that should make any of us fucking surprised about this at all. However, as much as we want to point and laugh, we the public are largely responsible for the dumbness these two have been on because we love staring at other people's bullshit for entertainment. You could easily make the argument that both Kanye and Kim are the epitome of attention whores. And you know what? You'd be right. But what we forget is they're attention whores we pay attention to. While Kanye made his fame and fortune off of his music talent and his business acumen, Kim, for the most part, has basically had her career happen to her. And we can ignore the sex tape because we've made her family richer than they already were by tuning in to watch them be rich since 2007. And while Kanye has repeatedly shown how willing he is to display his mental instability on camera with his numerous rants at the most inappropriate times, he's also very good at getting noticed. Another quick note, I don't take mental health issues lightly. Like most of us, it affects me and the people I love every day. But let's keep it a buck. If us regular schmegulars weren't up their asses all the time, they probably wouldn't be so interested with documenting so much of their lives online. The reason these two and any other celebrity couple put so much of their dirty laundry out there is because it gets seen by people who honestly have way better things to be doing with their time. And outside of the money and attention that they get from them, really could give a fuck less about any of the people that idolize them. This brings us to the long-standing and not-so-secret elephant in the room. As a society, we are way too interested in looking at depictions of real life. And yes, all reality TV is scripted, but it's promoted at being a glimpse in the actual lifestyles of other people. And that's the attraction that's powered the media giant that it's become. And we've made a lot of people a lot of money off of that fascination. Did you know that Honey Boo Boo's mom apparently did like $1 million worth of coke in 1 year? And do you know why? Because her dumbass reality show was so popular, someone was able to pay that black hole of talent that much money. Shit, The Bachelor had 26 seasons of the same silly ass nonsense year after year. For the same reason the Boo Boo Clan had the show run that it did. Because it's fucking profitable. If ABC could make money off 20 plus seasons of a man with no hands trying to pick his ass, that show would be on the air tomorrow. At its root, this is about something bigger than just the self-made sitcom Kanye and the Kardashian family have made out of their lives. Because in truth, what they do is the exact same shit normal people do and say online, so there's nothing really special about it. And that's part of the problem with social media, because it makes it too easy to download your crazy online for the world to see. And people are not thinking about the consequences. Just like Kanye and Kim, there are millions of idiots who will put all of their goofiness online just because they know someone else is going to be able to see it. And yes, people have always done stupid shit for attention, but now the fact your jackassery can be seen online by possibly millions has upped the ante. For every K&K, there are legions of yokels who will put all types of questionable and downright backwards ass shit on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. They just don't get 12,000 likes and retweets. At the core of this is the fact that attention really is one of the more potent drugs humans can partake in. Kanye, the Kardashians, and all of us are all subject to this. And no matter how famous or unfamous you are, it's the high the attention gives you is what drives 100% of the garbage you see on social media. It's been demonstrated that one of the dangers of social media is the reward system your brain creates from the dopamine release from the attention that you get, whether good or bad. This is what causes people to do any stupid ass thing they can think of on the internet, almost with no regard for the consequences. To me, the idea that so many of us are willing to make idiots of ourselves for the world to see, possibly forever, is quite disturbing because no one's really thinking about their legacy. Look up your favorite adult entertainer from 10 years ago and ask them about that. We'll never go back to a day to where it's possible to not leave your digital imprint in some way, unless you want to live like the Unabomber. But you have to admit, there's something to be said about not willingly making a public spectacle of your flaws, especially if they can be permanently documented so easily. I mean, if Jesus had a Twitter account, Christianity would have never gotten off the ground. We would have thought, that whole water to wine shit's cool, but I am sick of this nigga crying about Mary Magdalene thought ass on his Twitter feed. Old man Tyler out.